Hey guys, welcome to another video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Sideshow quarter scale Iron Man maquette. This is the Mark III. So this is the armor that sort of started it all from the original Iron Man. Let's get right into it. First of all, he's huge because he's standing on the remains of like the Ironmonger, the villain from the first Iron Man. And so for me to get the whole statue in, I'm pretty much going all the way back to kind of get all of him in there. And now I'm going to go a little bit closer in to get an idea of what he's like. So here we are. It's pretty special because, I think it's been 10 years. I mean, recently I think Avengers Infinity War marks a 10-year anniversary of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Iron Man, of course, is the movie that started it all. So it's kind of mind-blowing that it took 10 years for us to get a quarter scale version of this armor. This is his most famous armor. And again, hard to believe, but before this, the only representation that we had of this particular armor was the half-scale, legendary scale figure that they released many, many years ago. So, it's really nice to be able to have this finally in front of us. Let's take a look at it. So first of all, let's take a look at the base. It is a huge base. I mean, you have pictures of the prototype and some videos, but until you have it in hand, it's hard to really appreciate how big it is. I mean, this is my spread-eagled hand, and you can see it's not even close to how big this base is. I mean, it barely covers the chest plate of the Ironmonger. So it's a really nice base. I didn't really appreciate it as much until I finally got it and put it together. So obviously this is showing him on top of the wreckage of the Ironmonger that he defeated lying in all this rubble. So you have the chest plate, and then off to one side is this gigantic arm with the hand of the Ironmonger. So there you go over here. You can actually see this hand there. It's huge. I mean, this is my hand. It's almost as big as my hand, actually. Okay, right there. You can take a look at this comparison. You've got the machine guns, all the parts. Put the base in, and then you take the arm, you connect the arm here. It's connected via magnet right at this joint right here, very nicely hidden. You have this little piece right here that you hook up. Again, very nice, it's magnetized right over here, and then you basically put it in here and it snaps right in. So it's a nice little touch. Here you see more of the rubble, the arm, the piston over here that's broken off, and then of course he's standing on the remains of the Ironmonger. This is the battle damaged depiction right after he's kind of been throwing down with the Ironmonger fighting him. So there's a lot of dust and mud on the boots. Hopefully you can appreciate in real time what it looks like. There was quite a bit of controversy with some of the early production samples where there was a feeling that the paint was unevenly applied, so that there was quote-unquote too much mud on the actual feet, and it did not blend well enough into the rest of the armor. I don't know what versions might be out there. I think that sometimes taking photos can be a little bit deceptive. So that's why I'm making this video in real time. You can see that while indeed there is a bit of heavy, a muddy paint app, it's not horrible, at least in my version. You can clearly see the red underneath the, the mud paint application. And it does blend into the shin guards and into, the ankle area. And you can see there's clearly mud and scratches along here as well. So it's not like this is perfectly, beautifully clean and that he just has like a, brownish feet. That's not the case at all. Close up, you can see that there's splash effects, dirt effects all the way around. Again, the ankle and the lower shin of the lower leg, and you can clearly see that there's red interspersed with the mud application here. Same thing here. You can clearly see again the red through here. You can clearly see some of the splatter effects on the upper areas as well. You can clearly see that here as well. So if you pull back, in my opinion, yeah, it looks a little bit muddy, but it's not terrible, not ridiculous, not overdone, in my opinion. He just looks like he happened to go through quite a bit of dust while he was fighting, and it matches pretty well with the rubble here. Could they have made it a little bit less? They could, but again, there are going to be differences between prototype and production, and I don't even think this was necessarily a compromise in terms of detail, as often is the case when you move from prototype to production. I think this just happened to be a matter of interpretation, and maybe one of the samples sent to the Chinese factories had a bit more mud on the boots, or on the, not boots, but on the shoe armor, and the factory just went with it. But again, hopefully from this video, looking around, it's not a big deal. And I certainly am not drawn to it, and I'm more drawn to the rest of the statue, which is quite beautiful. The armor is done very well. The battle damage is realistic. It doesn't look like it's there, for instance, just to hide imperfections in the paint. There's legitimate battle damage, like here on the glove, for instance. The dirt looks realistically applied. You can see some of the battle damage here as well, some of the brushing here as well. Again, armor is very accurate. It's a very heavy piece. You can see little chips, all of that. Over here, you can definitely feel like he just, had fought the ironmonger with all the bullets spraying, all the damage. You see all of the scratches here. Again, very nicely brushed metal look, all the way up here. Here's some of the detail here. You can see some of the damage here. So, very well done battle damage. It doesn't look like, again, like the horrible fake blaster marks that, for instance, the Terminator life-size had way back in the day. This is very organic looking, naturalistic looking. Again, excellent detail on the armor. They hide the join lines very, very cunningly. Here's the back. Here it is. Here's the head. Again, under natural light. You can see some of the subtle brush marks. Look it back again. Don't see anything wrong with that. Here's the back right there. You can see the blast damage right there. Again, all very organic looking, natural looking. And then backing out. So here he is. Overall, I think he looks great. Really, really pleased to have him. I have the Mark I and the Mark II, and now the Mark III. I also have the Mark VI maquette from Legacy Studios. I don't think the Mark IV has enough to distinguish it from the Mark III to warrant a separate quarter scale, close to $700 purchase. However, I am looking forward to a Mark V, which is a suitcase armor, if they can swing it. Now this is the exclusive. Let me focus over here. And this is a very, very nice exclusive, actually. Most of the exclusives are not very good. This is a very, very heavy piece. It's its own base right over here. Wonderful detail with all of the cables and the torn wires here from the undersurface of the neck. This is, of course, the head of the ironmonger. You can see here it's crushed in from all the battles. It would be nice if this could light up actually, but that's not the case. It doesn't light up, but again, very heavy piece, outstanding, exclusive. This is limited to 500, but it sets off the base very nicely. You can pose it anywhere you want, either here at the head, but along with the giant right arm and the torso, it really does sort of complete the look. One final thing, you can of course turn this on. So if you turn on the light, you can actually get an appreciation of the flickering of the chest light. Really nice touch. His hands light up. Hope you can appreciate it right over here and then over here. The chest as well as the eyes. So it's, again, nice touch. In my opinion, Iron Man has to light up. You know, you have to see the arc reactor, the eyes, and the hands at the very minimum. That's kind of integral to the character. I've often said before, an Iron Man statue that doesn't light up is like a Thor statue without a hammer or without a weapon. You know, it's basically incomplete, and it's a big part of the statue. It's a big challenge. Having lights that work consistently is a big challenge, but it's part of what this statue is about. So again, great pose, great detail. The lights look fantastic, including the light for the Ironmonger at the base. You can use batteries as well as a AC adapter. Obviously I chose the batteries because it gives you more flexibility in moving the piece around. This is what he looks like, lit up on the base. This is the preferred way, I think, to display him. Here he is from this angle. So yeah, this is the Iron Man Mark III maquette from the movie Iron Man. And I certainly am not disappointed by him. And I don't have a problem with the price point. It's a very, very heavy statue, a lot of light effects, a lot of intricacies in the armor detailing, and I think it's well painted. You know, where it's not battle damaged, it's very nice and glossy. It doesn't feel like they cheaped out on the paint at all. So overall, I'm happy with it. Hope you enjoyed that, and hope you got some idea of what the paint app actually looks like in real time. And I will try to do another quick minute or two with flash on to show you that as well. Okay, so this is with the flash on. Here we go. Not much difference here at the base. With the flash on, you can take a look at the paint work of the boots. So hopefully that shows even more clearly the blending. So there's no question what it looks like here. We're going super close. Again, flash on. I think that should lay to rest any doubt about whether there's any dust or mud on the shins and up the legs. Here's the rest of the legs here, the armor, here's the arm. Check out the back. So again, he looks pretty beaten up, but in case you forgot, watch Iron Man 1 at the ending again. Look what that suit looks like at the end of that battle. So, yeah, I think it's true to the part of the movie they're trying to depict. Real close-up macro view with flash on and kind of give an idea of the paint, the brushed gold. have it. And then of course, the iron monitor head. All of that. Let's put that there. Let's back up a little bit. Show them off. All right, hope you enjoyed that. This again, Sideshow Iron Man Mark III. Until next time, take care.